Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushai, Call on Milah, Adonai Yahweh, Bashem, Shamalak Yahushai, Bashem Kakadash, double honor to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, peace, citation, hope, elect, shalom. And I made title of this video, OnlyFans Star killed by jealous boyfriend in Russia. And it says, the title in this news article, dailystar.co.uk, says OnlyFans star brutally hacked to death and dumped in bathtub by jealous boyfriend. Cops in Russia have arrested 24-year-old porn star Dmitry Chernyshov after the body of his OnlyFans girlfriend Anastasia Grishman, 26, was found stabbed to death in her bathtub by Will Stewart, John James, August 10, 2022. It says Anastasia had been stabbed 6 times. A Russian OnlyFans adult star was found stabbed to death in her bath 1 week after she was last seen, according to law enforcement sources in St Petersburg, Russia. Anastasia Grishman, 26, has been stabbed 6 times. Her 24-year-old boyfriend, Dmitry Chernyshov, who also starred in her erotic videos, was today, August 10th, detained by police after a manhunt. Grishman, also prominent on TikTok, had a second career as a tattoo artist and was wildly popular on the platform where she posted content with her boyfriend. 26-year-old was found in a bathtub. Police found her body after they broke into her flat when a female friend raised the alarm. Reports say the cause of death was multiple stab wounds. She was known on TikTok, OnlyFans, and adult sites by the name Grishman, Grshmn, and her content was viewed millions of times. Anastasia was hugely popular on OnlyFans. Mass media outlet with close law enforcement contacts said Chernyshov from OMSK was suspected of murder, according to a 112 Telegram channel. He was previously convicted of theft and evasion of military service. The video shows him detained by police. Dmitry Chernyshov, 24, has been detained by police. A female friend confirmed she had witnessed him being taken into custody. He is reported to have confessed to killing Grishman, who was also known as Anastasia Kamlovskaya. Sorry pronouncing those Russian names. Without further ado, I'll just bring up some scriptures, and Lord willing, you hopeful that will be edified. And in Proverbs chapter 6, verse 34, it says, "For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance." Right. And as you can see in the article title, it mentioned that, he was a jealous boyfriend, and that pretty much he put his girlfriend to death in the bathtub, gave her 6 stab wounds. And that shows you right there that you women really have no business doing OnlyFans. You have no business going on social media doing all type of wickedness to get so much attention by other men, because that right there allows other men to basically have the chance to commit adultery with you, and a lot of these women, they get tempted by those things, and she has no business basically having an OnlyFans account and showing her body parts on certain social media platforms that are OnlyFans alternatives. Like, yeah, man, she has no business doing those things. And I mean, when you're dealing with a guy, I mean, eventually they're not gonna fuck with that type of lifestyle if you consider yourself to be his girlfriend. And if you have him as your boyfriend, you're supposed to pretty much be representing yourself as his glory, you know? And bring out more precepts. So just to get this portion out the scripture, what's important, it says 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 7 that it says after the colon, after it says the word God, it says, but the woman is the glory of the man. Right. And for the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Exactly. And it says, neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. Right. And, when it's coming to these women, a lot of the times they don't really understand things like this, simple things like this, that how they was made to honor men, and they were made to serve men. And when you serve a man, and that man is considered to be your boyfriend, pretty much if he's popping you and shit, that's technically, like I said, sex is marriage. So, and that's what the scriptures say for the most part. So, you're supposed to honestly honor that man. And most of these women that you get anyway, they're not pretty much like, they're not your first. You best believe that. They're not your first kill. Because a lot of these bitches that you see nowadays, they just divorce. They go, they lose their virginity by the time they're in either middle school or high school. And then especially when they go to college, it's over. Like, all the rides they damn near been with, like, they got popped by and all that shit, And social media itself, as it's getting more and more popular, it's pretty much allowing these women to have more access to different men, And it's making these women being abused with over much liberty, And plus the fact that a lot of these women are raised with no father in their homes. And this is in Russia, so how much more in fucking America that these women live a whorish lifestyle? Because that's the reason why I don't blame those Russians like Vladimir Putin why they want to blow up America, because, and even these other heathen, these other nations that, have their political leaders that they feel the same way, that they want to pretty much come against America. And they're going to eventually, a lot of them are going to feel like that, because it's already part of prophecy that they're going to, according to Jeremiah 51, they eventually, in Jeremiah 50, that these heathen nations around the about is going to throw their missiles at America, because, they're tired of America and the way they been living their life, in terms of spreading their feminist ideologies and their philosophies to these other countries that pretty much have a different way of, let's just say, they have guidelines and morals that are way different than Americans over here in America, And pretty much like these women in these other countries, the shit they do, even if it may seem like it's horror sometimes, it's like, it's not really as bad as what they do in America. So, America's a very toxic country. And those people, like Vladimir Putin, he's an Edomite, so, pretty much like, he has it to where he didn't even like Edomites in this country, in America. And a lot of people don't really like Americans in general in these other countries, because it's just the way they live their life and how ignorant they are. These motherfuckers go to college and think that they smart because they have a fucking degree. And that's why this country, America, gotta go, I swear. But I'll bring out more precepts. And it says in Ecclesiastes 25, verse 25, it says, give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to get abroad. Right. Man, who gives that liberty for these women to get abroad is Esau, you know, the so-called white man. He's in the power seat right now. And because this devil Ishar, in other words Esau, that he gives these women, you know, the power to have the liberty to get abroad, these women, they claim they go on their little vacation trips or when they're working in their job, and they're more likely to cheat on their boyfriends or their, you know, their soulmates or their husbands, whatever you call them. They pretty much like, they go out and deal with other men. This is the wickedness that Esau allows these women to do. And that right there is completely satanic, because back in times past, you know, before this whole woman's lib shit, they were to be in the house and home, cooking and cleaning, serving the man. You know, they were only allowed to do certain jobs that were feminine, you know. And as you can see, with this whole feminism agenda, it has allowed these women to do certain shit that pretty much making them equal to a man, or making them even in some cases surpass, you know, the average man. But these are the curses at the end of the day. And it's just so funny, it just happens to be affecting Esau, the so-called white man himself, you know. But the only Edomites that will be affected are pretty much Edomites that are, you know, your average middle class Edomites, upper middle class, things of that nature. But the super rich Edomites, like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, you know, those banking families, they're not really affected by this, because their family has complete order. You know, they don't use social media. They're not influenced by pretty much the witchcraft, let's just say, that they fund. You know, they're not witchcraft, they're not influenced by any of the witchcraft that they be pushing out upon this world. You know, that's pretty much how it is. So yeah. And on the news, you know, a lot of the times where a boyfriend just so happens to kill his, you know, his girlfriend and shit like that because of jealousy and things of that nature, like, they don't tell you on the news that she committed adultery. They don't tell you that part of the story. You know, they don't tell you the shit she did behind his back. And this is the reason why, as a man, you gotta pretty much use wisdom, because, you know, we live in a day in society where a lot of these women, they do this type of wicked shit, and it's like, it's a natural thing for them. And there's a scripture for that I'll soon bring out, but let me bring this out right now. It says Ecclesiastes chapter 25 verse 21, summon out the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. Right? And a lot of these women, they may look a certain type of way for you to desire them, and trust me, they don't really naturally look beautiful. All that shit is just makeup and mascara, the cumbrellas, all that bullshit, man. They're not naturally beautiful, you know. And in Proverbs chapter 30 verse 19 says, the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid. You know, showing you every single natural way that things is, you know, supposed to go, you know, on the earth, things in that nature, you know. And here it is where you see verse 20, such is the way of an adulterous woman. So it was mentioned to you that this is the natural way of an adulterous woman. You know what an adulterous woman would do, and it will be like nothing to her. It says, she eateth and wipeth her mouth and saith, I have done no wickedness. Exactly. And it's kind of self-explanatory if the scripture in verse 19 mention the things that, like how an eagle will be in the air and how a serpent will be on a rock and things of that nature. You already know where it's going when it mentions about, the ways of adulterous women, how they cheat on their husbands. And, the real sentence for a woman that cheats on her husband is supposed to be death. And I won't be surprised if he did, you know, like if he knew that she was cheating on him. I wouldn't be surprised if that bitch was cheating on him. And I mean, after all, if the bitch was a OnlyFans woman, if she had social media to where she got millions of followers and shit, a lot of the times those females that do that shit, that get so much attention on social media, that's over much liberty that they have, and they can't handle that. So common sense should tell you that you shouldn't really be in a relationship with a female like that, because you think they're gonna really want to keep with the way a lot of these bitches are nowadays. You think they want to keep like a close relationship to be loyal to you? Especially when they have all those followers and they got all that clout on social media. And out of all social media, we're talking about she got OnlyFans and other OnlyFans alternative social media accounts. Yeah, she ain't gonna be loyal. I'll tell you that when she have an OnlyFans account. And she not even honoring you by she's over here showing the whole world her whole body parts. You're not honoring your husband or your boyfriend when you do shit like that. I'll bring out more scriptures. And this is a beautiful scripture. It says in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 8, turn away thine eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman, for herewith love is kindled as a fire. Right? And a lot of these guys, man, that's something they do. They get deceived by how beautiful a woman is. They think that, because she talked to him nicely, that she's dealing with him in a certain type of way, that it's gonna be forever, that you find your perfect soulmate. Yeah, man, that's not what's gonna happen, And a lot of guys, they lose their wits for women, man, and they end up getting themselves in situations to where they feel like they wanna, kill someone when they realize that their woman has been cheating on them. And basically that a man is supposed to naturally feel like that, to where if a woman cheats on him, that he has some sort of jealousy where he wants to kill the woman. And it's in the biblical law that you're supposed to kill a woman that's an adulterer, and you're supposed to kill the man that she committed adultery with as well. The adulterer and adulteress, they're both supposed to be put to death by the husband. Yep. And Proverbs 31 verse 30 says, favor is deceitful and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord shall be praised. Right? And all that beauty that you see for a woman is really a vain thing, because these women nowadays, that beauty is only meant for social media clout, and just meant to just gain men's approval, and just to where the man's gonna fall in her snares. That's what these women want. They're agents of Satan, and you have to really watch out for that. And I know I bring this scripture out a lot. It says, Jeremiah chapter 4 verse 30, it says, when thou art spoiled, what wilt thou do? Though thou clothest thyself with crimson, though thou deckest thee with ornaments of gold, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. That lovers will despise thee, they will seek thy life. For I have heard a voice as of a woman in travail, in the anguish as of her that bringeth forth her first child, the voice of the daughter of Zion that bewaileth herself, that spreadeth her hand, saying, Woe is me now, for my soul is weary because of murderers. Exactly. And these women, that's the pretty much like the end goal for them in Jacob's Trouble. Like, they're going to eventually, you know, for all the wickedness that they've done, for all the men they played around with, these men are going to really come in that day, and they're going to be coming after to kill you, woman. So a lot of these men have been put to jail because of a woman, and a lot of them have also been homeless because of women as well, and put in financial crisis, financial situations because of a damn woman. So when it comes to a time where there's gonna be like, you know, let's just say like a government shutdown or so, and there's lockdowns, things of that nature, to where there's no more law and order, where there's complete chaos out in the streets, these men are coming for you, woman, that done them wrong. And a lot of you women, y'all living in single apartments and stuff, like, y'all either have girlfriends, or you have a house with no man in the house, hold, things of that nature. A lot of those men are coming for you, because a lot of you women have done a lot of men wrong, and they just waiting for that day to pretty much to attack you. And you know how the scriptures say, verse 30, it says, though thou rentest thy face with painting, in vain shalt thou make thyself fair. Exactly. So all that fake makeup that you wear, those BBLs, in other words, Brazilian butt lifts that y'all be getting, all those, what you call it, the breast augmentation as well, that shit that you get, to artificially make your body look, bigger, doing it by way of plastic surgery. All that shit is vain. It's gonna be a vain thing that you women gonna do those things in Jacob's Trouble, because in that time when in Jacob's Trouble, you women are gonna be, the top of a man's hit list. I'm just saying, you're gonna be a target, especially if you live by yourself, you're independent, you swear you don't need a man, whether you be dealing with another female, like as a girlfriend or so, or whether you just be single. You women are gonna really get it, and y'all gonna really be looking for a man of the Lord in that day. And that's gonna be your judgment. But with that, hope I made the lesson edifying. Let's give all glory, praise, honor to Adonai Yahweh, Bashem, Shalom, Yahweh, Bashem, Kakadash. Double honor to apostles and elders, great millstone, peace, I teach, and hope for elect. Yahweh, Bashem, Shabbat, Bakashah, Shalak, Ranyam, Adawam, Yam, Dwako, Yam, Wa, Ababa, Shalom.